Hello, how are you? I'm Lisa. Um, I have been reading a lot of people talking about their taxes, property taxes going up a lot, and I know ours did too. And last year I did I appealed my assessment and I got it, and they lowered my taxes quite significantly. And that's for the house we have in Clinton, and we have a house here in Florida. That's where we live most of the time. And so I appealed my assessment here too, and I also got it. So, if they're doing it too high, if they're saying that your house is worth more than what you could actually sell it for, because that's what this is all about. In Indiana, they use the fair market value for your taxes. Some states only use 50% of your fair market value to do your taxes on. It just depends on the state. Florida also does 100%. So Indiana does have some deductions. You have your homestead. That's a good deduction. If you live in your house all the time, that you're there more than 6 months out of the year, I think it is, and that is your main residence, you can claim a homestead. And a homestead looks like, let me share this. Come here. Homestead looks like this. So you just fill this out, and I don't know where you take it, the county assessor's phone number and mailing address. Yeah, so I guess you just send it in to them. And so what the homestead is, you could get up to $48,000 knocked off of your assessed value, how much you're taxed on. So like if your house was worth $100,000, they would knock 48,000 of that value off, so you would only get taxed for 52,000. So hopefully most of you have your homestead. Most people know about that. And Indiana also has some kind of a deduction for being 65 or older. I'm not really sure how that works because we don't have that in Florida. You would have to talk to I think it's your auditor that's in charge of that, right? So here, and I want to share back to this. All right. So this here, this is Paige Kilgore. She's the county assessor, and she's the one that sets the amount for your taxes. She's the one that will decide if it comes off. So you'll have to send in pictures, a reason why. Why is your house not worth as much as she says? And the way that she figures this out, the way that she uh, decides how much your house should be taxed at, is she looks at the houses sold in the last 12 months and in your area. So Clinton's not that big, right? But there's not a lot of houses either. They don't sell like 10,000 houses like they do around here. I think there was like 380 sold in Clinton last year. It's not very many. So I'm going to share something else with you. Um, it's here. Nope, not that one. Okay, so let me get out of here. Let me get completely out of here. Let's start over. So go into Zillow, just like this, Zillow.com. And right here, just put Clinton, Indiana. And this is going to come up. And then on your bar up here, make sure this is under sold. And over here, make sure you have like a big range in your years, like you're built from 1800 to 2025, because a lot of houses in Clinton are old. And then apply that. So this is going to show you all the houses. Oh, wait a minute. There's one more spot. Sold in the last 12 months. That's important. So make sure you come down here and do sold in the last 12 months. So it's going to give you all these houses that's been sold in the last 12 months in the Clinton area, right? So you can really broaden that out just like that. And depending on what area in Clinton you live in, you can find houses that sold in the last 12 months in that area and compare them to yours. Maybe after comparing them, you'll see, oh, well, maybe my house is worth that much and I am going to get taxed on that. So, on like this one here, come on, this one, 840 South Blackman Street, 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, 1,200 square feet. What else does it have? All right. So 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, 1,200 square feet. It sold in September for 125,000. Look, now it's saying it's worth that much. This is what Zillow is saying, right? So houses are going up, which has a good thing and a bad thing. You have more equity in your house, but you have to pay more taxes, right? So if you sold your house, you get more out of it, but nobody wants to sell their house. All right, back to search. So let's say you live down on the south end of town and you wanted to see what houses sold for around your area. So you move this down here. So these houses move, right? They move to where you are, where you're putting stuff. So if I want to come all the way up here, it's got the houses all the way up here. So you find your area and then it's going to show the houses in the last 12 months that's been in your area. So then you can click on them like this and find a house. Okay, that's a 2 bedroom, 2 bath. Um, um, here's a 3 bedroom, 1 bath, 844 square feet. Let's look at that one. Maybe your house is like this. And you're like, they got $75,000 as my house. So look at this house. Why is mine? And they're the same. So then you can come down here and look. Oh, this one's actually lost a lot of value because it was at 75,000 back in sometime in 2024, but it dropped a lot for some reason. I don't know why. So this will give you a lot of information on the houses in your area. You know, it was built in 1910. This lot square foot, 7,500 square feet. It's awful small 3 bedroom, 844 square feet. So that's the stuff that you can use. And what you do is you go back to this and you put those addresses in here, you know, where it says list attached evidence. A house on 220 South 3rd Street sold for blah, blah, blah that's comparable to mine. Built in the same year, has a lot more upgrades than mine, and you have mine at the same amount. Just just that kinds of stuff, right? So then you got to get it mailed into her. Make sure you go through all this. It's got the address of where you got to send it. And you send it in to her, and then you'll hear something back whether they got it or they didn't. Oh, don't forget check type of property under appeal, real or personal. It would be personal. Or no, it would be real for real estate, not personal. Personal would be more like a car or something, right? All right. Well, I hope this helped you. And if you need any other information, I know it's really quick. I don't want to keep you on here forever, and to really do it would take me like a half an hour. So if you have any questions, just give me a message. All right, thanks. Bye.